Of power in politics. In about 2 weeks, Democrats from all across the country, and of course from right here in Brooklyn, will be heading to Chicago for the Democratic National Convention. And it's going to be a very different experience than what delegates anticipated just 2 weeks ago. Joining us now to talk about the latest in presidential politics is the head of the Brooklyn Democrats, Assemblymember and Delegate Rodneyse Bichotte Hermelyn. Great to have you with us here on Power in Politics, Assemblymember.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. Kamala Harris, now the presumptive Democratic nominee, and all of New York's delegates, including yourself, have endorsed her to become president. She's secured enough delegates to be the nominee. What do you think about the momentum that she's gained since all of this came to be, and what the energy is going to be like heading into that convention?
I think everybody is so excited. Again, an opportunity to have the first woman of color. Kamala Harris has won the votes of enough Democratic convention delegates to become the party's presidential nominee. So we're not worried about that. We're just getting calls all over. People are just ready to knock on doors, making sure that we get the vote out to, make history. So we're really excited. I think people are, already packing to find their seat at the DNC in Chicago, which I'm really excited because that's my second home. So we're just really excited for this historic moment to happen.
Love that city too. And you touched on herstory, and we were just looking at some photos there of you alongside a lot of female leaders at the VP's residence, I believe. Was this last September? Can you talk to me a little bit about that experience of engaging with her and what really stood out to you about her and what makes her the best candidate for the Democrats in this election?
It was a very great experience when we got a call to invite Black women who are leading across the state, across the nation. It was really an honor to be amongst like-minded women, to be in support of her in her role as a vice president. It was a situation where we had hope, and we even thought maybe, her time probably in the next 4 years will come to be the president. We didn't know it would be so soon. But again, it was great to be amongst women like-minded. We're there just to see a rising star and inspiration to all children, to all communities of all different walks, and it was just a great, beautiful day that day.
I want to switch gears and talk about her challenger. Earlier this week, former President Donald Trump was at a convention that was hosting Black journalists, and he made some pretty controversial, racially charged comments about VP Harris. We do have a clip of those statements that we're going to take a listen to now for a moment.
I didn't know she was Black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn Black, and now she wants to be known as Black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she Black?
She has always identified as a Black woman. She went to a historically Black college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't.
We were just talking about you alongside other Black female leaders gathering with the VP last September, and then to hear this from the former president. What was your reaction when you saw that clip for the first time?
I know firsthand that as a Black woman and first one to lead the Brooklyn Democratic Party, you face challenges and attacks that especially white male leaders would have never, ever encountered. And, seeing this disgusting racist remarks from Trump this week, really showed how Kamala is a true fighter. Her identity, Vice President Kamala Harris' identity at the National Association of Black Journalists Convention, really doubling down was just really a low blow. And, no one just wake up and decide that they're going to be Black. Okay. Kamala Harris has always identified with her Blackness. Trump's comment was very off. Mm-hmm. But again, I understand where she's coming from. I've gotten blows being the first Black Democratic woman to lead the largest county. I have had to deal with, sexist, misogynistic, racist comments. And but as you heard from the First Lady Obama, when they go low, we go high. So we're just going to continue going high.
I do want to ask you, Assemblymember, what you think those comments from Trump signal about how he's going to handle the race from now through November.
I think he's just going to do everything that he can because he knows Kamala Harris is her candidacy is really driving a lot of the Democrats. So he's going to do everything that he can do. I mean, look, Trump was hoping that he can get the black votes after he got, shot. And, for a minute there, he was playing hip hop and rap songs. And I'm like, well, when did you start identifying yourself with black people, Trump? So it seems like it's a little competition here, but there's no competition. He's going to do everything that he can. This is a convicted felon who is running against a former prosecutor, a person who's, the vice president who stands well, high, tall in our nation, a person that everybody looks up to. So he's going to do everything that he can. But as I mentioned, we will rise. We will rise.
A very different matchup than what we were expecting just a few weeks ago, but here we are, and a lot of energy heading into the convention and beyond to the general election. Assemblymember, thanks so much for your insight and time here on Power and Politics. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Great being here.